Amazing fun facts. Blue whales eat 500,000 calories in one mouthful. When whales open their gaping mouths in the ocean, they eat 500,000 calories worth of krill. If whales were like humans, their calorie deficit would be way off the charts. The energy they get is more than 240 times the energy they expend to gather all the krill in their mouth. The brain is the fattest organ. The stomach may be our body's fattest part, but the fattest organ is our brain. The brain is composed of nearly 60% fat. Tomato ketchup was used as medicine for 16 years. Whether you love it or hate it, this condiment once had a place in the world beyond hot dogs. However, you'd be surprised to know that ketchup only had tomatoes in it starting 1834. Before, ketchup was made with a mix of fish and mushrooms. When Dr. John Cook Bennett added tomatoes to the mix, he claimed that the antioxidants gave it a medicinal property. He had a pill salesman turn his tomato ketchup into pills and claimed it could treat diarrhea, indigestion, jaundice, and rheumatism. Antarctica is the only continent without any reptiles or snakes. Not only does the elusive continent of Antarctica lack McDonald's joints, but it also doesn't have any of our lizard friends. Why? Well, we all know that reptiles are cold-blooded, so they can't produce their own heat. Meaning, they'd get turned into popsicles in the frosty Arctic. Armadillos have bulletproof shells. One Texas man was even hospitalized after shooting an armadillo. The bullet ricocheted off the animal and struck him in the jaw. Bubble wrap was originally designed to be used as wallpaper. Bubble wrap was born in 1957, when engineer Al Fielding and Swiss inventor Marc Chavon tried creating a textured wallpaper. However, their product was rejected. They also tried marketing it as a greenhouse insulator, but the material still fell short. However, when IBM released a new computer, Fielding and Chavon pitched their concept as a protective covering for computer shipments. From then on, bubble wrap was adopted as the go-to protective wrap. Third time's the charm, I guess. Humans shed 18 kilograms of skin in their lifetime. At this rate, a person completely replaces their outer skin every month. Crayola is literally oily chalk. The name is a compound of the French cray, chalk, and ola, oleaginous, oily. A grumble is a group of pugs. They're called a grumble because of their tendency for snorting and grunting. Dogs can understand up to 250 words and gestures. The average dog is as smart as a 2-year-old child. Kea parrots laugh together when they're in a good mood. Kea parrots are the first known non-mammal species to communicate with laughter. Cows have best friends and will get stressed when separated. If a cow is taken away from her best friend, her stress levels will decrease her milk yields. Surprisingly, cows are not the only species who form attachments to certain companions. The best friend preference is also observed in certain bats, elephants, chimps, and dolphins. The lyrebird can make chainsaw sounds. The Australian lyrebird can mimic not only animals, but it can imitate sounds from other inanimate objects such as cars, cameras, and chainsaws. The hashtag symbol is called an octothorpe. The octo- prefix refers to the 8 points on the symbol, but it's not clear where the thorpe originated. Some theorize that it comes from the Old English word for village, since the symbol almost looks like a village surrounded by 8 fields. Glaciers make sounds. Aside from the sound of global warming, melting glaciers and icebergs emit a sound similar to fizzling soft drinks that experts have dubbed the Burgie Seltzer. It occurs when melting water frees tiny bubbles of air under enormous pressure, resulting in a sound so loud that it can be used to determine the distance of icebergs. A single lightning bolt has enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread. One typical lightning strike could power a 1,000-watt, 2-slice toaster for 84,000 minutes. During this time, you could make around 100,000 slices of toast. Cats sleep for 2/3 of their lives. People have a love-hate relationship with cats. It's somewhat understandable, since cats tend to be the exact opposite of the warm, eager demeanor loved by many in dogs. Another stark difference is that cats spend a lot of time asleep. Like, 15-hour average kind of a lot. Cats sleep mostly during the day and only become active around twilight. A shrimp's heart is in its head. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you can't choose between following your head or your heart? Well, it seems shrimp have an evolutionary advantage when it comes to tough decisions. Kidding aside, one of the fun facts about shrimps is that their hearts are literally in their heads. Specifically, it is found in the thorax just behind the head, but they are covered in the same shell segment. Butterflies taste with their feet. Butterflies have taste receptors on their feet. By standing on a leaf, they can sample it to see if it is edible. Sleep literally cleanses your brain. When we sleep, more cerebrospinal fluid flushes through the brain to wash away the day's worth of harmful, excess proteins and toxins. The tongue is the only muscle in the body attached from one end. All other muscles are fully attached to bones and skin. Your heart beats 100,000 times a day. A fun fact for when you feel dead inside, your body is working hard to keep you from being dead on the outside. Lobster used to be considered the cockroach of the ocean. It may be found in the most luxurious menus now, but lobster was once eaten regularly by the homeless, slaves and prisoners. However, lobster started to be seen as a delicacy after World War II. The national animal of Scotland is the unicorn. One of the fun facts that'll make you feel like we're pulling your leg: the unicorn is officially Scotland's national animal. The unicorn is the Celtic symbol of purity, innocence, masculinity, and power. Considering the fact that people believed they were real for around 2,500 years, there's no wondering why the official coat of arms of the United Kingdom features a unicorn. People don't sneeze in their sleep. While asleep, humans are actually more prone to sneezing because the mucous membranes swell when lying down. However, the brain shuts down the neuroreceptors that stimulates our sneezing reflex. That way, only very strong stimuli can wake one to sneeze. A crocodile cannot stick its tongue out. Because of a membrane that holds its tongue to the roof of its mouth, a crocodile can't stick its tongue out of its elongated snout. However, alligators can. A snail can sleep for 3 years. Aside from their shocking number of teeth, these small critters have some more astonishing tricks up their sleeve. Nap time for a snail can last from a few hours up to 3 years. Australia has the most number of venomous snakes worldwide. Australia is home to almost 100 species of venomous snakes. However, only one fatal snake bite incident is recorded per year.